Hello, this is a bonus video. I'm Jason, and what I'm doing today is hanging up framed photos. So almost a whole year ago, I remodeled my whole office, got rid of the ketchup mustard theme that was in here. It's supposed to be gold and red, but it's ketchup and mustard. And I painted this wall a nice neutral gray. It might be a little warmer than a neutral gray. I like warmer colors, so just to keep it from being too gross in here, I did go with a slightly warmer color. But I went with gray because I had a vision for this wall. It's actually this whole wall, but my wife had our niece paint that picture for me, and so that took up some of that space. So I have this canvas to work with. And it has been a dream of mine to print out my photos and adorn my wall with them. And so I have a myriad of photos I've printed out using my Epson EcoTank ET-8550. It can do 19 by 13, which is bigger than this. This is a 12 by 18, 19 by 13 prints, or all the way down to, like 4x6s, little handheld photos. This video isn't sponsored. I just love that printer. It does a really good job. For instance, this macaw. Yeah, I cut it off a little bit. That's my framing bad, but look how nice that printed out. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare. So that printer is amazing, and I would highly recommend it. I've been printing out so much stuff over the past year since I bought it, and I've barely put a dent in the ink tank. I'll show you a photo of that right now. If you're interested in picking one up as you start to see some of these prints, I have an affiliated link down below, but otherwise I'm just going to do a time lapse of putting these photos on here. I might stop and talk about them just briefly, but I don't want to bore you with my photos, but if I see something that's exceptionally interesting, I might mention it. It almost feels like Christmas with all of this being spread out the way it is. Like each present kind of lined up is stuff I love or know I'll love, and I just can't wait to open it / put it on the wall and start playing with it. I've been really excited watching these quote-unquote presents slowly build up. I'm going for a hodgepodge feel, so things are going to be, randomly assorted, so I'm not going to have just a pure grid. These are all varying frames, all different shapes and sizes. Going to be hanging them with these 3M Command Velcro strips. They work pretty well. You stick one side to the frame, one side to the wall. They're Velcro, and that way you can take them off. So if I decide I want to easily take it off and put a different picture in there, I can without a hole in the wall. I should mention the reason I'm finally getting around to this is my wife and I got a new cat. He's about 1 year old. My office has generally been a cat-free zone because of all the electronics and stuff. He doesn't know that, so he's been coming in and climbing on things and on all the pictures and everything, so I need to finish cleaning everything and kind of cat-proof this area so that he can't get into trouble anymore. So first thing is to get all these pictures on the wall. Having a hard time deciding what I want in the top corner. Not that any area is going to be the most significant, but things like this landscape of Florence, Italy, that's something that, you kind of want to be able to get close to, and sorry about the glare, get close to and look at. So I want that to be somewhere in eye level so that I can actually look at it. Maybe we'll just start with this photo of the old mill from Little Rock, Arkansas, and we'll just start there and start doing our work. These command strips support up to 10 pounds per strip. Surely these don't weigh 10 pounds. Yeah, this one weighs 2 pounds, so one strip per will be fine. Yay, it's level. One down, 24 to go. This is one of my all-time favorite photos. I even have it on the back of one of my MacBooks as a adhesive. This was climbing down Notch Mountain in Colorado after I'd spent the night at over 13,000 feet. Climbed up there by myself and stayed the night by myself in order to take photos of my first 14er, Mount of the Holy Cross, across the valley. So this was coming down in the morning. It was beautiful and just kind of represents everything I love about hiking. Some of these I'm going to have to come back and stick down because they're not pointed straight. I'm having a really hard time being random. Like, I don't want animal, 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 or nature, nature, nature. This may have to come off. This is a reading light. I originally planned to put my chair here with the ottoman when I wanted to read, but it may just get in the way of the pattern. We'll see. I'm torn on this one, because it is a lot of wasted space right here, but I really feel like I need a vertical one somewhere in here. This might be the oldest photo up here. I took this back with a point and shoot camera back in 2017 with a Nikon point and shoot. I think I sold that camera because it didn't perform very well. But it took this photo of the Seattle skyline. Yeah, I need to ensure I leave enough room for the last big frame. Plan that out somewhere. Probably there, I guess. Yeah, I should probably put this one up now. Most of these frames I got from Michaels or Hobby Lobby. A lot of them from Michaels, but I would look for like the buy one get one free or some of these green ones. I can see why they were on clearance. Some of these other ones, so I bought a lot of these on clearance, knowing I wanted them to be random. Being on clearance, they weren't necessarily 3x2, which is a common size that comes directly out of your camera. A lot of them were like, I don't know, 4x5 or 3x4 or something like that. So I did have to do some cropping on the original images, but so I had to really decide which ones can be cropped and which ones really need that original aspect ratio. Yeah, that's a great way to get cheap frames, was just to look for clearance items. A couple of them were from Amazon, these extremely odd shaped ones. They're okay. I bought this pack of 4 of these square ones and they kind of suck. Bought those from Hobby or from Michaels though, but you can see they're more designed for a desk with a stand than on the wall, so I'll have to tape those down. Having a hard time deciding on the final arrangement. So I've got this one here with the New York Central Park. I've got 2 animals and 2 buildings. So I don't really want the buildings on both sides of it, but this frame is nearly identical to that, so it's not really hodgepodgey. So it kind of breaks the whole eclecticness of it. Last one. This is St. Cecilia's Chapel on the Rocks near Allens Park, Colorado. And I actually, I've been looking at this one for, gosh, 5 years. never quite sure if I was happy with the edit, and I pulled it up while I was trying to finish printing out photos to fill all of these frames, and I said, you know what, I think it's done. I was kind of picking it to death, trying to make it perfect, and coming back to it just after enough time, I'm like, this looks exactly like I wanted. So I'm not sure why it took me so long to come to that conclusion, but this was not ever posted to social media or my website or anything. It will be now, but it's, I guess, fitting that this was one of the last ones I picked to print, and it's the last one going on the wall. I managed to save my random light. So I guess for now that'll stay there until I decide I need to use the spot for something else. And there we have it. Aside from a couple tweaks to get everything flush against the wall, that's it. And I am so happy. This has been my vision for, like I said, a year. Ever since I painted this wall, I said, I want it full of my favorite photos. And I think we succeeded. That looks great. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you like the way these look printed, that Epson EcoTank ET-8550, again, not sponsored, but I do have an affiliated link in the description. If you purchase it, I get a little kickback for you using my link. It doesn't cost you any more than if you went and searched for it and bought it yourself. Prints out, like I said, giant photos, small photos. The quality's great. The economy is great. You can print so many things. It's got cyan, magenta, and yellow. It's got photo black, photo gray, and then just normal text black. And by having that wider range of colors, it gives you more accurate representation than if you just had the, again, I'm going to simplify this, the red, yellow, green, or whatever they are, and black. By having that gray and that photo black, it really gives you more depth and contrast and accurate colors. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please consider becoming a member. This one is free. I don't have any members yet. You could be the very first member. And until next time, thanks for watching. Just finished, and here's the little whirling dervish himself right now. Remy. Hey, you.